am alive. I just watched a video where YSL Woody was on a serious, heartfelt rant. And I just want to say the problem with everyone is that we forgot to do things God's way. God put before man the tree of the knowledge of good and evil because he wanted to give man a choice. He wanted free men to serve and love him freely because that is a relationship where your love is not coerced, it's not forced, it is freely given. And we have all failed. When I say failed, we have all failed God, ourselves, our families, and our community. If our families were healthy and functioning as God intended it, we would not need social services. We would not need welfare. But what was established upon this earth was this thing called capitalism. It was a system put in place where certain people could hoard resources, natural resources, hoard them, and then ration them out to people. And then they created a system of where to exchange goods and services with the use of money. And that became the God, the religion, because capitalism, it seeps into every institution established on this earth. And because we became lovers of money, lover of things lust. We became lustful, wanting more than what was necessary. And then these institutions, like the banking institution, has been the biggest purveyor of this evilness. A banking system that takes our money and sells it back to us at a absurd interest rate, but only pay us pennies for having our money, for having access to our money. Corporate America, capitalism says the only thing that matters is the bottom line. I look at companies now, and this is across the board. All that matters is the bottom line. In the medical field, the medical field has been capitalize because people are at a vulnerable state. They want to get healed. And they create this synthetic drugs. They experiment. And then they make you pay for them to experiment and to poison you. To become healed. Funeral business takes advantage of grieving people. It should not take $20,000 to bury someone. They take advantage of the grieving family and their egos. Have to put on a show. Because it's not about the dead person. It's about the living. But the funeral homes take advantage. Then you have colleges that want to teach people. Schools, the better schools. You got to pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for a career that you're supposed to help the earth, putting you in an enormous amount of debt and then charging you interest on top of that. And if you want a home, a piece of land that belongs to you, you have to take out a mortgage and charge you even more. Depending on your skin color, will determine your interest rate. Then we got to talk about the food. Processed foods. Corporate America now taking up snatching farms. Banking. Billionaires snatching up farms so that they can poison the earth. Drain it of its nutrients with its pesticides. To get us sick so we can go into a hospital and be charged an exorbitant amount of fee to be treated and to be put on the road to a synthetic healing. And then we get these careers where the people who do the least get paid the more. People that do a lease and they got a little thing going on where they hire people that are frat. Hire people and you don't know that they're frat because they're not like us. They don't let you know they're frat. They go underground and hidden. And corporate America becomes one big Sodom and Gomorrah exploitative, creating products that people really don't need. Creating poor quality products so that every so often is guaranteed you will buy a stove, a refrigerator, a washer, a dryer, clothes that you don't need. Clothes that even poison the very skin that is on. Yes, you know why? Because you know who's the problem? The consumer. The consumer is the problem. The consumer funds The foolishness. If we all only purchased for 1 year only what was necessary, for 1 year, if we gave up vacationing, if we gave up buying clothes we don't need, if we gave up for 1 year, we could tank the whole economy. Because they couldn't tax us on goods that we're not purchasing. If we did that for 1 year. If we kept our money in a safe instead of a bank for 1 year, we could tank the entire banking system. But most people are asleep. Most people have become lovers of retail more than themselves. Social media is filled with unnecessary videos, and those are the videos that get the most views. We have come to define ourselves by what we have, who we associate with, and as long as we can give the appearance that we love God without loving God, we okay. We fund pastors. Jamal Bryant, he needs to be utterly destroyed. But as long as the parishioners, as long as they continue to give money and fund the foolishness, it will continue. Churches have become useless. They have replicated corporate America. Our government, our elected officials, they go into Congress, average people. They leave Congress multi-millionaires, some billionaires. And no one does anything about it. Because why? They can pay off law enforcement. They can pay them off. Everybody's corrupt. And if you try to blow the whistle, they'll either kill you or take away your livelihood or threaten your family. We're in wars that the government lied to us and says to protect our interests. No, it's to protect a few families that have wreaked havoc on the entire earth. And now there's a reckoning going on. There's a reckoning because the blood on this soil, the blood of our ancestors are crying out to God to avenge their death. The countless rapes and murders. Murder and rapes. Our founding fathers were disgusting. They were pedophiles. They were rapists. And they owned slaves. And yet and still, they want us to celebrate them. When the Constitution probably was written from some slaves. The Constitution probably, like anything else, they still are intellectual properties. They patent our inventions. They still are music. There's a reckoning going on. Rich men, wealthy men and women will no longer be able to sleep. Their own kids, their spouses, their workers, their assistants, their inner circle. The fornicators, the adulterers. They're going to be utterly destroyed. The pedophiles. People who use their portfolios, their assets, their positions of authority to abuse humanity, to abuse resources, to abuse the earth, will begin to die. Horrible deaths is starting. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Because the intercessors, those that love God, we humbled ourselves. And we prayed. And we turned from our wicked ways. And because we've done that, we ask God to heal the land. See, it's not about religion. God is too big for your religion. You cannot contain El Shaddai. His knowledge is too vast for a mere man of limited knowledge, full of iniquity, full of anger, full of debauchery and witchcraft, full of lust, full of greed, full of racism and hatred. That man cannot ever know and define the Most High. Islam has an appearance of religion, but they abuse their women. Christianity got a form of godliness, but deny the power that sanctifies, that keeps you from falling. Judaism, no love, void of service to anyone outside their European white skin. Exploitive, lovers of money more than God. Have a form of godliness, but definitely deny the power thereof. Buddhism. Monks sitting in a mortuary, whatever, getting high. No impact. Catholic priests, homosexuals, pedophiles, was on the right course, built hospitals, built schools, but didn't keep it holy. Became worshipers of statues. All these other religions, witchcraft, manipulative, controlling. God is very clear. It requires holiness, wholeness, completeness. Evil men will no longer, workers of iniquity of all levels and all walks of life, will no longer have peace, will no longer be able to continue if they don't repent. People, if judges don't start respecting and honoring God and justice from the bench, they're going to start dropping prosecutors who continue to railroad people, poor men and poor women, will begin to start dropping. Preachers right in the pulpit will begin to start dropping. Bankers, tax collectors, politicians, men and women who have given the seat of authority by the people will begin to get exposed. Every hidden thing, sexual deviations, everything, all the secrets, all the hidden things will be revealed. No more hiding. No more secrecy. Don't allow yourself to be a victim. Speak. Expose. You don't have to fear anymore. You don't have to be afraid anymore. You don't have to. Even now, people are sharing their stories about how they were brutalized and still won't tell who were the perpetrators. Still will not name them. So I'm looking now. Did it really happen? Or is this a figment of your imagination? There are demonic forces in play. There are certain spirits that attach to your family because it's a mindset. When you seek everything when you seek fame, when you seek power and not God, this is what we get. An earth filled with iniquity. I'm done.